Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this one, if you could just hit that subscribe button down below, that would really help me out because we're trying to hit 6,000 before the season starts. But today's video is going to be about transfers. Now that we've announced Daniel Farke, we haven't quite had the takeover announcement go through properly yet with the EFL checks, but all being well, that should go through in the next couple of days as well, and we can start our incomings and outgoings. Now, there are a few players, which we're going to talk about first, that are seemingly already on their way out, and they are Robin Koch, Diego Llorente, and Brenden Aaronson. The first one we'll deal with then is Robin Koch. Now, Robin Koch is a weird situation, basically. He's only got 1 year left on his contract, and he's going out on a year loan to Eintracht Frankfurt in the German Bundesliga. Now, that means that at the end of that contract, that loan deal, he's now going to be a free agent. Leeds are going to lose him for absolutely nothing. But if they think that they can't find a buyer for him this summer, and they can take a lot of the wages off the wage bill for the club in the Championship by loaning him out, it probably is the best thing to do. We've already sort of realised that we're going to make a loss. £13 million, I think we paid for him originally. I can't remember if it was 13 or 17. Either way, we're going to make a loss of over £10 million. But that's just the way football goes, and especially when you get relegated, you kind of get screwed over a little bit with transfers. So Robin Koch seems like he's off to Eintracht Frankfurt, all being well, on loan. Diego Llorente seems like he is going to go back to Roma permanently, but a deal needs to be agreed for that one. At the moment, we don't know an exact price, but we're expecting between £5 and £10 million, I think. It won't be a massive amount, but it'll be good to get Diego Llorente out the door again as well, because it's getting those wages off the books, and that's one of the most important things. If we want to go back up, we need to make room on the wage bill for new signings. The other one is Brenden Aaronson. Now, Brenden Aaronson is a little bit different because we'll be wanting him back at the end of his time, I think, at Union Berlin, which is where he is supposedly going to go on loan. Now, Union Berlin have been doing pretty well over the last couple of seasons at trying to build a little decent squad who can sit mid-table in Bundesliga and maybe push for those European spots. But Brenden Aaronson probably will come back to Leeds after that loan. But the main things we need to see from him is him bulking up a little bit. Hopefully the Union Berlin physio team and the medical team and all that can sort of understand and try and rectify the way that he just goes down and is so weak in every challenge. And hopefully he can get a little bit more physical with his time in the Bundesliga and then maybe come back to Leeds and see if he can try again to succeed at Leeds, because in the Premier League last time he didn't really do very well. So hopefully Brenden Aaronson goes out on loan, and because we are loaning out some players, we will probably be doing a little bit of a loan watch and keeping up to date with how our loanees are doing at their respective clubs. But for now, it seems like Brenden Aaronson's the only one who will probably be coming back, but the other two seem like they could be gone forever at this point. Now, the exciting bit, incomings. Now, we've been linked with Joel Piroe, Gustavo Hamer, and Ryan Manning for quite a while now, and they're the ones that I'm going to talk about because they are the ones that seem sort of the closest to completion. The first one we're going to talk about is the striker, and that is Joel Piroe. Now, Joel Piroe has been at Swansea for the last couple of years, and more than just his goals, he scored 19 this season, which is more than Bamford ever managed for Leeds in the Championship. It's his consistency of playing games. Now, I don't want to jinx it, but he played 43 games out of 46 games last season in the Championship. He started every single one of those 43 games. So to have somebody who can stay that fit for an entire season and score 19 goals doing it, I think that would be a really, really good thing to have. Joel Piroe would be an excellent signing, I think, for Leeds. He's a proven Championship goal scorer, and I think if you put him in a better team in Leeds United, he would only flourish and do even better. I think he got 2 assists as well. Let me just check on that. Yeah, Joel Piroe got 2 assists, and he also got 18.5 XG and scored 19 goals. So Obviously, if you're outscoring your XG, and a lot of people hate XG, but it's a good barometer of how well a striker is doing if they can outscore what they're expected to score, what the average striker would score in those situations. He's outscoring that, and so that shows that he's a little bit more prolific than some of the strikers that we've had in the past, namely Bamford, who obviously has been pretty profligate in front of goal. But I think Joel Piroe overall would be an excellent signing for Leeds, and really the sort of striker that we'd need to bring in, playing off the blind side of defenders, much like what Teemu Pukki did under Farke's Norwich. Trying to open up that gap by running one way, creating a space for the number 10 in behind him to go the other way and run in and score a goal, and also getting on the score sheet plenty of times himself. So I think he could easily hit over 20 goals for Leeds this season if he is to sign. The next one then is going to be Ryan Manning. Now, the Irish left back has also been at Swansea for the last couple of years. In my last video, I mentioned how he's experienced in the Championship. He's a decent player going forward and getting back. But what I didn't actually even realise at the time was actually how many goal contributions he got from left back in the Championship last season. From left back, he scored 5 goals and he assisted 10 goals. So 15 goal contributions in 46 games for a defender is actually a really, really good return. And I think in such an attacking system as this, now, if you haven't seen it already, I recommend you go and check out my Daniel Farke tactics video explained, but I kind of explained in there how Leeds fullbacks will be expected to get high and wide, and then the inside forwards would be expected to sort of come in and flood that box to try and create 3 men in the box with maybe even a runner from behind running in, whilst those fullbacks act as wingers, get the ball up the pitch and get the ball into the box. And I think somebody like Ryan Manning is an excellent signing for that, because he's able to get forward and put the ball in the box, get assists, get goals himself by taking it on himself, sometimes having a little bit of confidence to try and shoot. I think he'd be such a good signing for Leeds, marauding up that left-hand side. And I think if you complement him with Cody Drameh on the other side, now people mentioned how Cody Drameh was the most dribbled past full-back in the league last season, and whilst that may be true, we all know that stats can be twisted and manipulated to make things look a certain way. Cody Drameh also got forward really well. He got assists. He made some game-saving tackles. It's not just about whether he got dribbled past or not. And with this system, if Cody Drameh is a little bit higher up the pitch and he does get caught out, the idea is that Manning on the other side, if he is who we sign, would tuck into a 3 and create that little bit of a buffer to try and stop them going straight to goal as soon as they'd taken Cody Drameh out of the game with a pass or a dribble. So I don't think it's as bad as what people say, but I think certainly bringing in Ryan Manning could really, really help Cody Drameh on the other side and help Leeds in general. The next player we're going to talk about then is Gustavo Hamer. Now, the central midfielder, box-to-box midfielder from Coventry City would be an excellent addition to the Leeds United midfield. Having got 9 goals and 11 assists, so 20 goal contributions, just one less than Joel Piroe, who is a striker in the Championship last season. Gustavo Hamer has really proved himself to be an excellent midfielder for the Championship, and I think he would bring a level of class that we haven't really got in there, and somebody who can progress the ball as well. Gustavo Hamer has 7.23 progressive passes per 90. Now, progressive passes, for those of you who haven't seen the little blurb that I say, is basically a pass that goes forward towards the opposition goal more than 10 yards as long as it's over the opposition halfway line, if you get what I mean. So basically passes forward into the other half that go more than 10 yards, trying to drag the team up the pitch. And 7.23 per 90 means that he is in the 88th percentile for players in similar leagues to him. So what that means is he's in the top 12% in Europe of players in that league in those positions who can play progressive passes, which is a really, really good thing to have. He shows that he's able to get the ball forward. He's not just a sideways or backwards passer. He also carries the ball as well to progressive carries per 90. That's a carry that's more than 10 yards and also towards the opposition half and towards the opposition goal, which is also a decent return for somebody who is playing in central midfield, trying to bring the ball out, trying to carry that forward. And like I say, with the fact that he gets on the score sheet with goals and assists as well, he could be a really good player to play in a sort of number 8 role, maybe in those holding roles, but just sitting a little bit further than somebody who is going to be a proper out-and-out defensive player who then can allow Hamer to get forward and join the attack, support the number 10, support the inverted wingers, and then support the fullbacks as well, and have that attacking unit together. And then you would only leave back the other holding midfielder and the 3 behind him who would sit in and try and create that defensive unit in case of a breakaway counter-attack. But I think Hamer is somebody who could be really versatile in the fact that you could probably even put him in that number 10 role or a withdrawn number 10 role a little bit further back. And I think he would flourish there as well. I think Gustavo Hamer would be an excellent signing for Leeds, and even if we just got these 3 to complement the rest of the players that we've got, I think that would do us really, really well in the Championship. With all the things I've said, I think these players are an excellent fit for Leeds United, and you can see why Nick Hammond is looking at them. They would be a really good fit. I think they do Leeds really well, and I think they, like I say, they would complement what we've already got, and they would certainly also complement Daniel Farke's system as well. So yeah, that is going to be the end for this sort of news roundup, who we've been linked with. I will do much more in-depth sort of dossiers on these players as and when they are more heavily linked, or when they actually start to come in. You get a proper full video dedicated to that, and we'll go into a lot more depth. But this was just some sort of surface statistics that can give you an idea to try and flesh around the idea of these players, how they would actually fit into the Leeds United system. So thanks for watching Leeds Lately again, and I shall see you in the next one.